Shalom. All praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahushai, Ba'asham Rachak, Wadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well, pushing this 100% truth of the gospel, waking up and sealing the elect of the nation of Israel through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahushai. And salutations of your sincere Alchemy that are pushing this gospel in all righteousness and in all sincerity, risking your lives and your freedom to do so. Alright, this is just a thought that crossed my mind, That's something that I was meditating on. I just decided to do a video or a lesson on it. Yeah, just a video on it. You know, basically going into how disappointing this current world that we're living in right now is, because it is a world of lies. And you know how it is, man, when you first come into this truth and then you realize that going into the book of Jeremiah and that's actually prophesied. Going into the book of Jeremiah. Let me get that. Basically, the prophecy that said that we would come. Let me read this right here, okay? Jeremiah 16, verse 19, and it reads, "O Yahweh, my strength and my fortress, and my refuge in the day of affliction, the Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth, and shall say, Surely our fathers have inherited lies, vanity, and things wherein there is no profit." And these Gentiles that he's speaking of here is talking about us, the Hebrew Israelites, because that's what we're doing on this time, okay? We're coming to the presence of the Most High, we're saying that what? That there is nothing in this world, okay? This is a world of lies, a world of wickedness, a world that is empty. And there's nothing in this world, so we are coming to Yahweh Bashmi Yahushai. We are coming before him, and we're confessing this fact, okay? And there's nothing to go back to. That's why Peter, when Yahushai asked him, he said that word that we are not. That he said that we are not of them that draw back to perdition. He said that what do we have to look forward to in the world? That the only place that we can go, the only choice that we have is to follow Yahushai, because there is nothing in the world, alright? We live in a world ruled by the wicked, okay? Esau, Edom. I know what the scriptures say about him. He's a liar from birth. He's the father of lies. And I can go into all these precepts. Basically, father of lies. A forger of lies. All the different precepts that speak about him. His greatest characteristic is the fact that he is a liar, alright, and the fact that he is not just a liar, but a perpetual liar, perpetual deceiver. And actually did a lesson previously about that, how the deceit that is the deceit and witchcraft of Esau. One of the blessings that Yahweh Shai gave him, which is that forked tongue, as he uses to spew out his lies, okay? And once you get into this truth, okay, you see the world for what it truly is for the first time. That's crazy right there, okay? You think about it, that it was only when you got into the truth that you actually realized the kind of world that you are living in. You actually understood it for the first time. You as a individual in this truth, you could go decades, so, but of course, some Akiam came into this truth as teenagers. The majority of the people that came into this truth came into it in their early 20s, So you went 2 decades without not knowing how the world works, not knowing the ways of this world, not knowing anything about the world. And as soon as you came into the truth, that's when you finally had that understanding. That's when you realize, that you feel all kinds of emotions, anger, sadness, pain because you finally realize just what kind of world they are living in is. You finally realize that you've been lied to all this time, okay? There is no God, there is no Jesus Christ. It is Yahweh Shai. The plantation Christianity that we have been fed, the lies that we have been fed from Esau and his science, from the school system, from everything that we believed in this world. You now realize that those were all lies. That there was not even a single ounce of truth in any of it, okay? It was all deceit. Imagine that. If you think about it, you think about everything you knew when you were in the world. Think about everything. Go back into your time in the world and try to think about everything that you believed. You realize that you no longer believe any of that. Now that you're in this truth, okay? Your mind has everything that you believe in the world has completely been wiped out, and now the only thing that you believe is the truth, the 100% truth, and you realize that the world actually had 0% truth. And then you realize that the world isn't all that is hyped up to be, all that is cracked up to be. They make it seem like this is it, that this is the best that we can get, that we are living in a super advanced society, living better than our ancestors, living in an evolved society, a civilized society, and all that. That we are far, that we are probably the most superior, generation or even at the most superior time, but you realize that if you go into the history, that was actually a lie. And even if in prophecy actually backs that up. Okay, yeah, you're living in a backward, recessive society. That's why in the book of Esdras, and let me get that real quick. Second Esdras, the fifth chapter, it tells you exactly that. Okay, so in the book of Second Esdras, the fifth chapter, the 54th verse. Second Esdras 5, verse 54, and it reads, "Consider thou therefore also how that ye are less of stature than those that were before you, and so are they that come after you less than ye, as the creatures which now begin to be old, and have passed over the strength of youth." And basically, what this is going into is that this earth, okay, this world has already passed the strength of its youth. It's going into its old age, okay. That this world is already aged. This world is already too, too old, and it's about to be. That's why it needs to be refreshed so I can be turned into a better world. Okay, that's why you see all the natural disasters. You see the things like global warming. You see the earthquakes, the natural disasters happening. It's all from Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, but it's also because the fashions of this world are about to pass away, as the scripture says. Okay, so now you see we are not better than our ancestors. We're not advanced or even moving forward. And because in Esau's archaeology, will tell you that the men of the past were actually shorter than men are. But if you actually go into the history, actually go into the real history, okay, you know that men were actually much larger in stature, giants even, because there's a in the book of no and even not even just men, even the animals and the plants were even bigger. And Esau will corroborate this and tell you, because you tell you that because there was more oxygen. That's the excuse that's the according to his science, because there was more oxygen in the air, animals could grow bigger, and because there was more oxygen in the air, human beings were more stronger, and human beings are more powerful than they were now. You are stronger, you are faster, you're just better in stature than you are now. And of course, going into the herbs and the diets that we had during that time. All right, that was helping to be that was helping to give us a better stature. Okay, but now you understand why, during the time of Adam, they lived 900 years, 800 years, nearly 1,000 years. But then during the time of Noah, men started started getting younger and younger, started dying younger and younger, up until the most I put that curse on the whole earth, that nobody will live over 120 years. And this is all because we are degrading as a people. Okay, we are, the whole earth in fact is degrading. We are degrading as a whole, as a planet. Okay, the animals as well, and even the plants, we are becoming lesser and lesser of stature. Okay, it's just one giant downward spiral. The whole earth is going down to a downward spiral, to perdition, circling the drain. And that's why you realize just how pathetic and disappointing that this rulership that we're living in right now, okay, that is ruled by Esau, Edom, and of course, to nobody's surprise, because considering who rules it, the basest of men, okay, the wicked, okay, Job 9 verse 24, Daniel the 4th chapter the 17th verse. They are not the white people of the earth, okay, they are not the first people, the great people, the mighty people of the earth. They are not the light of the world. There is no white man's burden, okay, there is no trying to get Western civilization to the four corners of the earth, so as to improve everybody's life. There is none of that. These devils are not the ones that are going to save this earth. Okay, these devils are not the Messiah of the world. Okay, they are the Edomites. They are just that, devils, and that's another lie that they pushed. Rewriting history, making themselves, all the great, making themselves all the great nations, all the great men. They are not, because they are not the Egyptians. They were definitely not the Adamites. They were not the sure as I want the Israelites. They want the ancient Brits, ancient Celtics, ancient, the knights that were living in dark ages, and for the most part, going into the Holy Roman Empire, they want Marcus Aurelius. Okay, they want the ancient Holy Roman what I'm looking for, the ancient Holy Roman Caesars, and they want pharaohs up until the time of Ptolemy. Okay, in fact, these devils, they want the Babylonians either. They want the Assyrians, they want the Persians, because if they do a movie now about that time, like a good example is Prince of Persia. The Persians during that time, and even they will tell you in their history that they were all dark fleshed, but you see Edomites running around, the Prince of Persia. I forget the guy that acted it, but he showed ourselves wasn't no Persian. Okay, they darkened his skin a little bit, and that's just all they did. But basically, what I'm trying to say is this: that this world is not worth it. Okay, there is nothing here for us, and that is why the scripture tells that what that we are looking for. Let me get that we are looking for a. I forget how it goes. It's like basically speaking about our rest. Okay, that we are seeking. Let me get that. I'm trying to figure out how to word it, so I will get it. I can't find. I don't remember where exactly. But basically, it's going to into arrest. It's going to arrest the New Testament. I forgot how it is spoken. It's something about So like, I forgot now how it was worded. I can't remember how it was worded, but basically, I believe it was in the New Testament when it talks about we are looking for a continuing. I think something like about continuing or continual. So like, I can't remember. Oh yes, we have no continuing, something like that. But we seek one to come, something along those lines. We have no continuing place of rest, but we seek one to come. Let me see whether I can bring it out. You have to bear with me while I look for it. Yeah, it is. The book of Hebrews 13 verse 4, and it reads, Saka, book of Hebrews 13 verse 14. For we have no continuing city, but we seek one to come, okay? And that is why, that's why we know us that are in this truth, we separate ourselves from the world as much as possible, because we understand that the only thing that in this world and it's disappointment. Because once you're in this treatment, you can't go back to the world, okay? Whenever you see the way, and I think I spoke about this in camp, whether you see the way Jake acting like a fool, you see the state of our people in the world, man, you just feel they just basically it just gets you down. It gets you down. It makes it puts you in this, it makes you feel some type of way. Okay, because here we are as these great people, but you see the state that we are in perpetual slavery over in these devils, and you see what they have reduced our people to, a bunch of thugs and savages, okay, making us seem like making us as undesirable as possible. Another kind of thing just gets you down, man. So what could you possibly want in this world? The world hates our people, okay? This world hates the Israelites, even the most wicked Israelite that is out there, even the most wicked of the two-third. The world still hates them just because they are an Israelites, okay? For the most part, okay, it hates our people, it hates all our people, all the Israelites. So why should you, as an Israelite, be a part of or want to a world that hates you so much that they want to wipe you out of it continue? Okay, you shouldn't be thinking about how you can live in this world, because if you have this truth, okay, if you are an Israelite, you will never be able to live normally in this world. You see what state of our people, okay, moving from slavery to slavery, from captivity to captivity. Is that normal? Is that a normal? Is that a normal way to live in this world? And even now, we are still in that captivity. And that is why we hope for Yahweh Shai to come back and deliver us out of this wickedness, deliver us out of this world of lies, out of these disappointments that we are constantly living in, under these devils. Alright, so let me just end it there. Let's give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rachach, Wadash, Wa Abad Babal, and through the Spirit of you, Akem and you, Aquas were edified. Shalom.